Alright, welcome back. This is going to be Game 3 of the best of 3 of the gold semifinals between HyppiCorpo as our purple Zerg in the top left and our teal Protoss in the bottom left, Heartland Hitman Spork. We had Spork actually take the last game with a nasty, just constant 4-gate plus Robo plus everything being thrown at Hippie. And eventually it was just this long stalemate. Hippie could not actually keep his economy up. No actual damage was done. It was all indirect damage, but that was a beautiful example of how indirect damage to Zerg can be just about as bad as actually killing the drones. If you make them produce units, that cripples their economy just as much. Of course, the key is living against those units, but Spork did that beautifully with a very well-timed wall up at the top of his base and managed to move in for the kill right after that. Lots of spine crawlers were up, but it just wasn't enough with all those immortals. Spork now moving out, and it looks like he is going to be going for a Forge Fast Expand, playing a little more standard this time instead of the one base Protoss that we have seen him do in each game so far. Hippie, of course, did take that first game. Spork had put his gateway up by his base, did not wall off anywhere at all, and just streams after streams of Zerglings from Hippie was enough to take that out. So Spork learned from that. Game 2 fixed the problem, walled himself off, and that sealed the deal. Spork now going for a more standard macro game, and we'll see how Hippie can handle that. Hippie, again, used to play Protoss. It was a Platinum Protoss, possibly even bordering on Diamond, and has dropped down to Gold as Zerg. Still a lot of things about the race that he does have to get used to, and that last game, also a good example of that. Again, do I make units or do I make drones? Just going on that nice edge of a balance. That is the key to a good Zerg. Alright, Forge is up. Nexus should be going down very soon. Just waiting for that 400 minerals, and there it is. Nexus is down. Hippie will see this with the Overlord that has basically seen everything, has seen the timing on that expansion, and Hippie, with his knowledge of Protoss, will be able to know how to exploit that best. Question is, will his knowledge of Zerg allow him to exploit it how he wants to? I do play random myself, and one of the joys of random is that you know the weaknesses of the other race, but the pain of random is that you have to use the race you're given to actually be able to exploit that. And knowing how to do something and actually doing it are two very different things indeed, especially in StarCraft, where you just have all these different things that you need to have muscle memory, the injects, the timings, just the feel of how many drones you need to make, what you need to make, when you need to make it, what tech you need. It's so very different switching from race to race. Highly recommend, by the way, everyone should, at least for a while, play some off racing, especially if it's a race you're having trouble playing against. You will find the weaknesses of that race so quickly. It will help your play immensely for your main race. Alright, Nexus is coming up. Third is going down for Hippie, so Hippie is going for a much longer macro game. No gas yet. This is gasless 3 base. Pretty standard, maybe a little bit greedy. Spork could be doing a bit of an attack, but with these bases up here, beautiful. Oh, does need to get that Zergling, and both Zerglings will go down. Nothing will get into this base. Photon Cannon with 2 kills. That should not have been. Hippie a little bit sloppy with those Zerglings. A little bit supply blocked as well. Ooh, 5 Overlords at a time. Little bit off his game, perhaps. That last game, he did say himself, was a little bit frustrating. It is terribly frustrating when you know that push is coming and you still can't quite stop it. And I have been there so many times as Zerg myself. Robo facility coming down, but it's very close to the front of this ramp. If a Zergling comes up and sees that, he will have a very easy scout. On the other hand, with that cannon there, not likely that many Zerglings will come in. Whereas an Overlord, well, this Tyrone actually, this Tyrone is a little bit lost. This Tyrone needs to get back to work. It needs to do something. Well. Either way, Robo will be going down. That is his tech of choice. More gates going down as well. Question is, Spork has gone for 2 very aggressive, basically all-in strategies before. Will he be going for something similar, perhaps like some sort of 8-gate? Just some super aggressive push to try and punish this third. Does he even know about the third? No, he does not know about the third, and that is actually key information. Knowing whether the Zerg is on 3 bases or 2 is so important as Protoss, because if they're on 2, your attack is not going to work and you're likely going to have to defend. But if they're on 3, then you need to punish the Zerg. Two very, very different strategies depending on what you see. Scouting so very important. Gas going down now for Hippie. We'll be seeing some sort of tech coming out. Likely seeing Zergling speed. He is fond of that Zergling speed. Zerglings have served him well in the past 2 games. The last game they were blocked off by a beautifully placed little wall of 2 Stalkers and an Immortal. But on a map this big, you want all this open space to be controlled, and very, very fast speed Zerglings are the way to do that. For now, though, he's building 9 drones at a time. He is going absolutely bonkers on macro, and he's being totally unmolested, and this is allowing... Spork has not actually done any sort of pressure at all. A single Zealot will get out there, and really, all he's lost are a few Zerglings, and likely an Overlord. Not really much to worry about at all. Do love this creep spread coming out. Do need to get these bases connected, get those queens able to get together, especially with Protoss air being strong as it is, even if there's none coming out in this game in particular. Immortals coming out, lots of Immortals coming out. Ooh. This could get a little dicey. Lots of Lings coming out with speed, and Roachwarren is on the way, as well as a lair. So many things on the way, as well as double evolution chamber. He is teching up like crazy. He is just in complete and total power boss mode. Can Spork find the window to actually attack in here and do the damage he needs to do? Otherwise, Hippie is going to run away with all these upgrades, double upgrades, speed on the way, layers on the way, and really all Spork has is a handful of Immortals and starting a Twilight Council. Is also starting a 3rd base, though, and that is pretty big, but to answer that, Hippie has a 4th. Both players playing this map as it should be played. Just huge, huge macro mode. So many bases so far away. It's so difficult to actually attack on this map. And this 3rd is not that difficult to hold for Protoss compared to a lot of other maps. Cough, cough, Neoplanet S. Cough. Cough, cough. Stargate is on the way, so we are going to see some airplay, but Aspire's on the way as well. Might see some Mutalisk. Hippie, knowing that this is such a big map, Mutalisk so quick, able to pin the Protoss back into his own base, which will allow him to take on the rest of the map. Might be seeing exactly that, especially with all these Lings and all these upgrades for the Lings. The Roach is more of a defensive measure. Hydraling now coming out as well. Hydraling so good against anything without splash damage. Oh, but his army's a little split up. Oh, these Lings will be able to come in here and start doing a lot of damage. These Lings getting completely torn apart. They need to get out of there. They cannot engage that Protoss army. The Protoss army needs to actually come back and start pushing this away. But no, he is pushing right on ahead. Oh, this is going to get real dicey real quick. This base is almost forfeit. No, the Zealot Warpin will actually save that, so this was the correct decision, getting this army up ahead. The units lost way in favor of the Protoss. Hippie in a very tricky spot now, but the Hydra should be enough to actually push this back. Hydra's so fantastic against this army. Need some Lings as well to support, though. Hydra's so squishy that they need something to actually take all the hits for them, whether it's Roaches, which aren't so good against these Immortals, or Zerglings, which aren't so good against the Zealots. Hydraling, though, again, still so good. Needs something to support those Hydras, but the army does get a little bit distracted, and that will be just enough time for Hippie to get in some very important shots. These Immortals not good at all against these very fast-shooting Hydras. The Hardened Shield's really not doing all that much, and this army will slowly get whittled down, and it might actually be caught by these slow Hydras. You do not have their action. They do. Oh, they do have. Do they? They do. They have muscular augments. Alright, these Hydras are actually pretty damn fast off creep. Though apparently they have gotten tired. So no real damage done to either side. Both players actually pretty even after that. Worker count slightly in favor of the Protoss, and this 3rd base remains standing, and that is the most important thing. That Protoss 3rd base, if that stays up, that is so important. Hippie does have Hippie does have 4 bases up on his own, But this third for Protoss will allow that extra gas and all that extra tech. Right now, this is anyone's game at all. Hippie around 94 APM. That sounds about right for Zerg. Zerg does take a little bit more APM for the macro alone. Though a lot of that is just hold down the Z button, and you will get a lot of APM just from making Zerglings. More Hydras out on the way. There's no splash damage out for Spork. This could be real dangerous for Spork. He is going for a Void right now, but so many Hydras getting Groove Spines as well. Actually got Muscular Augments before Groove Spines. An interesting decision, and may have actually worked out because he does not have Creep actually connecting these bases, so he needed that speed on those Hydras. 1 armor, no attack. Has 2-2 on the way for Lings, but no plus attack for his Hydras. Might actually be seeing some Ultralisk later in the game if he keeps on with these melee attacks. Lots more gateways going up for Spork. He is going to be macroing out like a champ. Does also need to get some more pylons down ASAP. Alright, and with the Colossi coming out now, he should be okay against this huge Ling army. And Hippie is now in a bit of a bind. Lots of Corruptors coming out. No, not Mutalisters. Might have been tipped off about the Colossi, or might actually just be going full on for Broodlords, but there is no hive in sight and no infestation pit in order to get to that hive. +2 armor almost done, more gateways almost done for Spork. Spork going slowly into that air toss composition that has so many Zergs raging everywhere. Lots of Lings just kind of hanging out. Could sort of do a run by if they were very quick, but it's so hard to be aware that you're able to do this as Zerg, and you can't really get that vision very easily at all. And this army is just standing guard by this third. Spork wants this third. He wants to max out on these 3 bases. Does need warp gates there. Wants to max out on these 3 bases, and then from there be able to make just whatever he needs to counter whatever the Zerg is making, which is right now a lot of Hydralisks. How many Hydralisks is he up to? 24 Hydralisks. So many Hydras, and lots of Corruptors as well. The Corruptors will help take care of the Colossi, and if the Colossi are gone, Hydralisks are so good against pretty much everything else that Protoss has on the ground. Lots of Lings now running in, and this army is completely out of position, not able to actually defend against this. This third is in so much trouble. Lots and lots of upgraded Lings on hold position will destroy the mineral line, but they are now in a little bit of trouble. Might be overstaying their welcome, but he has a lot to worry about now with this huge army up in front. The Colossus doing so much damage. The Corruptors are now target firing the Colossi. That was absolutely key. So many Hydras doing so much DPS. Can they actually hold there? No, it is not enough Hydras. Hippie's getting hammered back. He's now down in supply. He does have 10 larvae and needs to make some units. There is no more splash damage though, so all the Lings that are about to pop out will be useful, but no, the Lings just run on by with the rally point, dying on the way. Some Hydras coming in piecemeal, and another Colossus will be the hero for this army, but no, he will get surrounded by Lings. Vengeful Lings and Roaches will take out that Colossus. This base will go down. The third is gone for Hippie. A fourth is coming up for Spork, and Hippie's fourth, which is I suppose now his third, is not mining at all. Hippie is backed into a corner now. He needs to actually take care of this army, kill this army, do something. Oh, and lots of drones still long distance mining and will be actually destroyed. And a nice little pocket corner right here will allow these Lings not much surface area at all. More Hydras coming in, and this might be now enough to actually kill off this army. But he needs to do damage back in return very quickly. Supplies about the same now. And we do have more 62 probes to 50 drones. And this base, Spork now on 4 bases. This base starting to get rebuilt, but Hippie is now definitely on the back foot. Needs to do something about this base down here. I don't know if he even really knows about it yet. No, he does not. He had Lings down there, and he could have seen that. He might have seen the transferring probes. But he needs to have some idea that there's a base down here and needs to do something about that base. Lots more Zealots on the way, and more Immortals on the way. No more splash damage, oddly enough. More Void Rays as well. Has seen a lot of Hydras and an Infestation Pit now going down for Hippie. going to be going into that hive. We'll see if he wants to go into swarm hosts or infestors as well. Also likely to see that plus attack, but there's still no attack for these Hydras. These Hydras at 0 attack. That's so important. Meanwhile, we have +2 armor being researched for Protoss, and these Hydras that attack so quickly with that .83, that extra armor is just that much more devastating to go up against. And he has found the space, and it will go down. That is huge for Hippie. Hippie is now still in this game, having taken out this base. Spork moving out for a counterattack in response. There is not much here to defend this base. Will he actually be able to run in and do a lot of damage? There are a lot of Lings, and these are fully upgraded 2/2 Lings for this current tier. And there is no splash damage, so these Hydras will do a lot of damage, but with nothing to buffer for to compensate for their low HP of 80. They are not going to actually be able to live long enough to do the damage they need to do. This base down here is starting to get overrun, but some Warpins might be able to actually hold that off. More Hydras doing a little bit of kiting, but this army is now just going right into the heart of the Zerg base. The Corruptor coming out, not doing anything at all. The Void Rays do need to get back up into the fight a little bit more. Taking out this natural would be huge, taking out production, and he will have full access to the main up that little choke of a ramp, and Zerglings in that choke will not do anything at all. Some Hydras getting in on the action, but not enough. 2 Void Rays still remain. 3 Void Rays still remain. 1 Corruptor coming up, but Void Rays so good against Corruptors. Can he actually get the kill? Oh, that's so important. And Lings were just running right on by. He is now up in the main. Can he actually get the lair? Corruptor does go down. Lair is under attack. If he gets the lair, this is going to be lights out for Hippie. Resetting the tech tree, going for the evolution chambers, the Roach Warren, the Hydra Den, the spawning pool, the Spire, the infestation pit. Everything is up here. This is the home base of Zerg, and the home base is getting absolutely pillaged by this Protoss army. Couple Stalkers down, poking around. All these Lings can't really do all that much. This base was taken out in the meantime, so they are trading blow for blow. But I'm not sure if it's going to be enough for Hippie to stay in this game with all this tech being destroyed. Did get a lair started and another spawning pool on the way. A couple Corruptors getting made before that Spire is going to be taken down completely. But I'm not sure if Corruptors are really going to be all that useful compared to actually just getting more Hydras. Or Infestors. If you got an Infestors with all that extra gas, you might be able to do some fungals, as well as getting those Zerglings to get the surround as they needed to. This space still untaken once again, but he is going for a... What? Okay. Spork is taking the very top right. This... Alright, that is actually happening. That base is being taken by Spork. I don't know how that's going to work, but I guess that is the last place he would think to check. Lots of Corruptors coming in. Will start to take out those Void Rays, but with all the Stalkers beneath them, these Corruptors have no support whatsoever. So the Stalkers are free to actually just take out the Corruptors without any trouble at all. 1 Void Ray does go down, 1 remains. And can he actually take out this last base? There's not much left for Hippie. Hippie needs to rebuild, but what can he rebuild with? He has the production, he has the money, but he doesn't have really the supply to last. And Spork is checking for any other bases before he goes in and tries for the kill. Lots of Lings coming in, but these Stalkers are in a pretty decent position. It's going to be hard for the Lings to get any sort of real surface area. Lots of Zealots charging on in. Hydral's Den was on the way, but will be shot down without being cancelled. And this base is almost going to go down. There is the GG, and Spork takes the series 2-1. HyppiCorpo will be going on to the finals.